Hi there, this is my channel, Jaru Walks. In the year 2024, I will embark on an epic walking journey across the United States. I plan to hike 8,000 miles and to cross the US 3 times, via the Appalachian Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, and Continental Divide Trail. In the hiking world, this is known as a calendar year Triple Crown and has been completed by only a handful of hikers in history. The calendar year Triple Crown has traditionally been completed by jumping within or between the trails throughout the year, primarily to avoid snow, but also to avoid other seasonal hazards such as floods, extreme desert heat, and wildfires. For my attempt, I'm trying to hike each trail on a continuous, unbroken, end-to-end footpath, and to accomplish this, I must hike across all 4 seasons. I will be posting weekly updates along the way, so you can join me for the journey. Wish me luck. Morning, whatever. I look like I haven't slept through the mosquito bag net because there were hundreds of mosquitoes flying on me all night. You can see them around my head. They didn't sleep. I've never experienced this before in my life. Look at this. As soon as I kill him, another 20 will land. Horrifying. So quick video capture for the day because my battery's low and I got a long ways to hike. Yeah, I did a 27-mile day yesterday over I think what might be one of the tallest elevations on the entire PCT. I went to bed last night at 11 p.m. There were like, I don't know, at any given moment, 20 mosquitoes swarming my head. I did my best to keep them off of me. I went to bed last night with a headache. I also had Giardia-like symptoms for the last 2 days, but they're gone now, luckily, at least for now. I woke up with a headache and the mosquitoes swarmed all night. I've never encountered mosquitoes that don't go to bed at night. Like they typically, when the sun sets, they go to bed too. At least they disappear. And so anyway, today I still have a headache. I have allergies, just my nose is running. The mosquitoes are following me up the mountain. I got a late start. There's mosquitoes on my hands. And then today I have an elevation gain that's equivalent roughly to what I gained yesterday. It took me 20 miles to gain it yesterday. And today I'm doing the same elevation gain in 4 miles. So it's straight up. And that's just the beginning of the day. Yeah, this is definitely one of those days where like most people would give up. But no, that's an exaggeration. No, it's actually true. Not true for me, but anyway, just documenting how miserable this morning is all. And then so most people get off trail at Bishop right here. It's a 4-day hike at this point. For other people, that's a 5 or a 6-day hike or an 8-day hike to get to Bishop. And then for me, though, I hypothetically still have 4 more days to go at 25 miles per day. And if you could see the profile map, you would see it's just whipsawing up and down for those 100 miles, 120 miles that I have remaining. So I'm going to switch to videoing basically, I think, in the morning and when I make it up and over a pass, and maybe at night to conserve battery. So that's it for now. People talk of like Half Dome as being one of the most spectacular mountains in the world. But I bet that it is a magical mountain, but I suspect a big part of the reason it's so well known is because there's a road that goes through it. And the reason I bring that up is because I've been hiking for 75 miles through the Sierra now, or 100 miles, I don't know what. And it sure looks like every bit of it is every bit as spectacular as the famous photographs from Yosemite. It just goes on for hundreds of miles. It's just the difference is there's no road to where I am. There are no dirt bike tracks to where I am. There are no off-road vehicle tracks to where I am. The only way in here is on foot or on maybe on horseback. So it's just spectacular to know that, whatever created Half Dome actually runs for hundreds and hundreds of miles. Never would have known that. Never would have believed it. Had to see it for myself. Clearest water I've ever seen in my life. Look at that boulder. You can see where it goes all the way in. It's crystal clear. How you feel?
That'll wake you up. I got it.
Another beautiful lake. So you can see where the trail's going. You can follow the people there. And then there. And then there. Up to the top. Topical impasse. Let me through. We got a jet coming. Other side. Think it gets snowy up here? This is obviously nothing because it's been so mashed down. But man, it gets snowy up here. You know what? I think I'll take a little bit of that. It's literally a lake with an island. With that cliff in the back. Like, how could you design something that beautiful? I don't think I can make that, but I'm gonna try. Wow. That worked. Pretty sure this is a recent avalanche field. Look at these trees. Ow. I mean, this must have happened like, yeah, recently. alrighty, I'm working my way up Pinchot Peak now, or to Pinchot Pass. One fun detail on my way up is that it seems to parallel this river that's right down there all the way to the top. And so as you work your way up, or I guess rather as I worked my way down yesterday evening down the backside of Forester Pass, you could observe like where the snow was at the top of the pass and how it was melting into these lakes, and then it would run through the rocks beneath the lakes to form these little creeks or rivers coming all the way down the mountainside. And so now I'm coming up the next mountain and next pass, and in this situation we're following the river all the way up. So presumably when we arrive at the top there will be a lake or lakes that are feeding this river all the way down. And so earlier, as I was working my way towards this mountain, way off in the distance, I shot a video of a mountain with a giant waterfall just cascading down, and I think that that's this waterfall here slash river. So anyway, I'm excited to follow the river on my way up to the top of the pass. So when I get up there, if there are lakes, I will make sure to film them, assuming there's still light out. So that's the highest elevation pond up here, being fed by the runoff from the last bits of snow, I think. Maybe some natural, like spring water too. And then it spills out here. And it runs all the way down the mountain. How cool. So the main canyon I climbed up was this big mountain back here. If you follow it, there's a river down there, and that's the spectacular waterfall, river. And it was way down there that I was filming the beginning of that waterfall. And then where I hiked from earlier today was, if you just keep following that way for 16 or so miles, I hiked all the way back there and up and over a pass, but obviously coming the opposite direction. And now this hill's blocking it, but there's a low point in the pass here, or a low point in the mountaintop here. So I think that that's going to be my pass through up there. It's interesting. I still don't know the difference between a summit and a peak of a mountain, but I now understand that a pass is it's a low point, near the summit of the mountain that makes it easy to pass through. Maybe that's obvious, but to me it wasn't. I think I'll be there in about half an hour or less. Mm-hmm. So I met 2 hikers up here at the summit of Pinchot Pass. They're doing the John Muir Trail, and they're doing it at 28 miles per day. And yeah, that's why they're out here hiking in the night with me. So we just had a quick little chat. Ships that pass. When I went to bed, I had no idea that lake was even there.
This rock that I'm on is perfectly flat. I think, was it not last night, but the night before with the mosquitoes was one of the worst nights of sleep I've had. And tonight, as in last night, was one of the best nights of sleep I've ever had.
Alrighty. I just made my way down the backside of Pincho Pass, down into the V where the river runs. I crossed the river on a log, so I didn't have to ford it, which was nice because it was raging pretty hard, but at about knee level. Would have been fine to cross, but now I get to have dry shoes. And now I'm working my way up Mather Pass. So I think it's like 4 or 5 miles up to the top. And then I guess we'll see what's next from there. That's where I'm going. You can see a person way up there. The black dot. So you can see the lake is back behind this hill here. The pass was up there. Now somewhere down this way. I don't even know where, so somewhere back there. All right, a little further down the canyon now, and I can see actually what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go down and then hang a right turn into the next canyon, and then that actually leads up to the next pass. Working my way through another avalanche site. Look at the force of the snow that pushed through here. At least I'm assuming it was an avalanche. Knocked down every tree. Look at that one back there, it splintered it. It's the most dangerous water source I've ever encountered. Maybe here. Check out this bridge. You think it floods here sometimes? Almost got destroyed. So I'm currently, I think in one of the previous videos I was saying I'm going down this canyon and it's gonna hang a right turn. I made that right turn maybe like 4 miles back.
And now I'm going up, I think what's called to Muir Pass. So up on the other side of Muir Pass, I guess down. As I keep saying, you go up the pass, through it, and then down. And there's usually a big river down there before you go up the next pass. So the next river is the San Joaquin. And you can see that last bridge, which went over the King River, was almost knocked out. And so the next river up on the trail, the San Joaquin Bridge, is knocked out. And so according to this sign, the trail is, the PCT trail is closed at that point because that bridge is knocked out. So I saw a sign earlier at another ranger station indicating that bridge was knocked out and to take the detour. And so I think, yeah, I'm not sure where the alternate route starts, but it's right around here. It's a 30-mile detour around the river where the bridge is knocked out. That sign right there is wrong. The PCT is not closed, but it's heavily advised for people to hike around and take the alternate. So it's currently like 6:30 p.m. and then the goal is to make it up there by 10 p.m. somewhere up there. There's a shelter, and then to camp out there for the night and then wake up early tomorrow and move as quickly as I can down the backside of Muir Pass to the San Joaquin River, which I'm going to try to ford. I think I'll talk more about that tomorrow once I'm actually at the river. Alrighty, I just worked my way up this canyon, and now this is kind of the end, and it does a left turn here. So it goes 6 miles, so for about 3 miles up this way, and then it curves up again to the right another 3 miles. And so at that point, I'll be at the top of Muir Pass, and there's a shelter up there. So my goal is to make it up there the next 6 miles uphill to the pass, maybe by 11 p.m. tonight. And it's, I don't know, like 7 o'clock right now. No, 6:40 p.m. So should have plenty of time. Okay, so next update. The last update was from down there, and I was saying I was working my way up here where it turns right. That's where I am now, at the top of these waterfall. This waterfall. And so the trail goes up here and then right here off to the right, and it does like a big bow. And then the pass is just up there. So I think the next update will be, I guess, at the pass. Look at that, crystal clear water with a headlamp in the moonlight. You can literally look into the water with a headlamp. So cool. The moon's about to set beyond the pass up there, and I'm at a large lake, not really visible to the camera. Trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. There's still snow up here, but just a little bit. I asked on Facebook, the Pacific Crest Trail group, if people advise that I bring microspikes into the Sierras. And I specifically said, please respond. Please only respond if you're a thru hiker who's hiking the trail this year. And all these people responded who have never thru hiked the PCT and are not thru hiking it this year. And they all said to bring microspikes just in case. So based off that input, I did not bring microspikes. And it's proven to be the right call. It's funny, like, and this would be me before thru hiking. I would totally be guilty of this, but when you day hike or section hike, you pack all your fears. When you thru hike, you pack exactly what you think you will need. And if you run into a situation where you don't have what you need and you're in danger, then you need to turn back. So if you're willing to turn back, like if that had just been a solid flat ice sheet that I couldn't cross, then I'd have to turn back. So as long as you're willing to turn back, you're able to move through with way less equipment than what a day hiker would pack out of fear. So late in the season, the whole trail is just overflowing with all this snow melt runoff. It's not really a way to stay dry. Made it. Summit of Muir Pass. How cool is this? And I'm the only one here. I can't believe that. I thought there'd be a lot of people up here. Let's see. John Muir Memorial Shelter. Nice. Had a surprisingly good sleep in here. Okay, so the goal for today is there's a place called the Muir Trail Ranch. They are open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and they do some type of like free hiker giveaways that are sometimes unbelievable and I think usually just kind of okay. I'm pretty much down to peanut M&Ms and 1/2 of a bag of chips and like sour Skittles. And by pretty much, oh, and I have pretzels. That's it. That's all I have. And so if I could supplement with like 1 or 2 even meals there, that would help me tremendously. And even if not, they have charging outlets because I'm down to basically 1 phone charge and a headlamp that has like 40% remaining. And I still have 75 miles to go. So plan is, man, this is going to not be fun and I may not even make it, but to hike at 2.5 miles per hour the whole way to the Muir Trail Ranch, which is 22 miles. If I do that, I should arrive right around 4:30, 4:45, and they close at 5 in terms of the food resupply. So, or at least the giveaways. So we'll see. I don't know. I might be too exhausted today to even make that. So we'll just see. But that's the goal for today is to make it there, get all that, and then either stay there for the night or just get a small recharge and then just get back on trail because I don't only want to get 21.5 miles by trail today. I want to get more than that. Just working my way down this canyon for like 10 or I don't know, 12 something miles until I hit the San Joaquin River. Not too much to show other than it's stunning. So I've been working my way down this canyon. I think that's called Evolution Lake. So I'm gonna move, roughly 10 miles down to the bottom of this canyon before I hit the San Joaquin River. I just got a permit checked by a ranger back there who was kind of like warning me about fording it, adding to the suspense around it. Again, I'll, I think, explain more about that once I get to the river. Sign warning me about this bridge being knocked out. But I live on the principle of see for yourself. You can always turn around. See, now that's a good warning. That's the fourth warning. They explain every option, including fording, explaining don't just trust other hikers' word, and checking, do you even know how to ford a river? That's the right way to do it. Fifth warning. Let's see. I think that's the bridge that's supposed to be there. It's knocked out. I'm now looking to see if there's anywhere close I can get across, and if not, I heard maybe downstream might be better. So I'm gonna look up here first. There's a log right here that runs across the river, and it's easy to get to it. The problem is, if you fell off of it to the right side, it could suck you under, and if you got stuck on it, you just drown right there. So I'm not gonna go that way. I didn't film myself when I went across, but I went across right here, and it actually gets waist deep right there. So I went around that part, and I stayed just depth level, just above knee deep. You can see how forceful that water is. So if you got knocked over, very unlikely you would rewrite yourself. Look how big those rapids are right there. I mean, you'd eventually get out, but wouldn't be fun. But the consequence, if I had done the detour, would have been, I think it would have been added 40 miles of hiking to go to I think it's another bridge that makes it over this river or somehow goes around this river. So, yeah, and there's 2 more people about to go across right there. It doesn't look that bad when you're watching it from the bank, but then there are those sections where it gets deep. Like So I just entered what I think is the John Muir Wilderness Area, which I think means that I'm out of Sequoia National Park now. So I'm interested to see if the beauty changes on the trail. I think that wins the award for the biggest log I've ever seen. I wonder how the sap smells. Doesn't really have a smell. Okay, I am screaming down the trail right now. I've been averaging right around 3 miles per hour since 8 this morning when I left Muir Peak. I spent the night in the shelter. I met a ranger on the way down who kindly explained to me that shelter is just supposed to be for emergency purposes. So I guess note to anybody watching, it's not intended for just casual use. The river ford went well back there. A short ways after the river ford, I crossed a bridge where I saw a new sign saying, I think it was like Muir Forest or something, or no, I can't remember what forest, but a new forest. And it made me think maybe I've left Sequoia National Park at this point. I definitely sensed like an energy shift. It's crazy. Like as soon as you enter the national park, you feel, I mean, it's like the Mogollon Rim on the Arizona Trail is like Alice in Wonderland at night. Mount Washington is like cruising in the clouds of heaven. And then Sequoia National Park / more specifically the Sierra are like Willy Wonka land was what was coming to mind for me. It just didn't even feel real. And how could it be so beautiful for so long? So it's also funny because this is how little research I've done. I'm not even sure if I'm out of that now and moving on to something new, or if I'm still in it. It feels like I'm out of it now. So I don't even know if there's more beauty to come that's going to rival that. It's hard to imagine that could possibly exist. It's honestly hard to imagine that the Sierra even exists on Earth. I mean, it's like out of, you know, like a 3D CGI Hollywood film. in terms of its beauty. It's just, I'm still in awe that that exists on Earth. This is the turn off to the ranch. These resupply recharge spots are always downhill. You climb all the way uphill to this point. And now it's uncomfortably steep downhill. Jeez. Why? I'm gonna have to come all the way back up this. Luckily, it's only like 3/4 of a mile, I think. Big shout out to the Muir Trail Ranch. Such a good dog.
Yeah, she's got a lot of trail miles.
Look at her. And so how many miles has she done with you?
2,300.
2,300 miles. Wow. And so where all have you guys hiked?
Mostly on on the PCT and on trails connecting the
Yeah.
PCT.
Mhm.
Where dogs aren't allowed. We detoured around.
Right.
So we do about 1,000 miles a year.
What about like the desert section? Would that be too hot for her?
No, we did the whole desert.
Wow.
We did that
Impressive.
last year, and 250 miles of Northern California last year.
Yeah. How old is Sandy?
It should be 4 in August.
4. Wow. Amazing.
Well,
And what's her base weight?
5 pounds.
Nice. And she's just carrying dog food in there, or what all does she have?
Dog food, parka, her shoes, her socks, and her sleeping bag.
Nice.
Oh, she has a little.
Oh. How did you guys wake up again this morning?
Sandy jumped in our tent.
So cool.
Our little calf.
We're adopting her now.
Yes.
I think we're taking her.
Okay, I'll take joint parentership.
Yeah. Aw.
She's carrying a lot. She's a strong PCT hiker.
5-pound base weight. I already asked. Yeah.
she's a strong PCT
That's
hiker.
more than some ultralight hikers.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty. I'm hiking right now with. Tell me your trail name one more time.
Snowball
Snowball
from Slovenia.
from Slovenia. So, Snowball has previously hiked the AT. I'm coming up this steep hill, and I recognized with how quickly he was coming up, this guy has hiked before. Like, he's moving fast. And I thought, I wonder if he's hiked the AT. Turns out,
Yeah,
you did
it's
hike
true.
the AT. What year?
2022.
So you did a documentary for Slovenia, basically, right? Can you
Yeah,
talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that's true. I make documentary for my country and also doing it now for PCT.
What-
Because I'm third Slovenian who ever hike AT. So yeah,
What-
there's not a lot of people hiking in my country. Not the long distance hikes, but they like to watch what I'm doing. So yeah, it's cool.
What's your channel name?
It's a SLO backpacker.
SLO Backpacker for Slovenia. And so we were just chatting, that's why I kind of pulled the camera out, about the AT. He's honestly helping me make sense of my AT experience a little bit. So he was saying, first off, that the community on the AT to him feels stronger. And then also that you said that you had a lot more stories in the trail.
Yeah.
Could you maybe like talk about that a little bit?
I mean, in 2 months on AT I had way more stories than now. I mean, so many things happen. I mean, I step on the rattlesnake, see my first bear. First day when I built a camp, I had the worst storm in my life, and I spent in the $200 tent. So
And then what about Mount Washington?
yeah, Mount Washington, 100 miles per hour, wind, ice storm, and around 0 Fahrenheit, I think so. So yeah, we almost died, but
And he's not kidding when he says they almost died. Yeah.
This is honestly one of the best stories on AT.
Could you go in deeper into that story? Because you told it before. I just thought it was mind-blowing.
So we were late.
Yeah.
I have a visa, so I have to go out after 180 days. So because I was fucking around first half of the trail, I had to rush second half. So we know, we wake up in the hut and on the radio we hear it's a bad storm in Washington. But
You're on the hut up in Mount Washington.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know the exact one.
It
was in my video. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
It's like 4 hours before
Yep.
summit. So we just went to hike, and first 1 hour was pretty nice. We saw first ice. It was a little bit windy, but not so bad. But then next 3 hours, it's probably the worst hours in my life, because all around me it was icy, and I also had ice on my gear. I could hear it when I'm hiking. This ice was breaking on my gear. So after this, we finally found a hut with a emergency shelter, and we spent 42 hours there.
This is I think it's called Lake of the Clouds. Is the shelter? It's one with the big iron door.
It's right before summit.
Yeah.
And yeah, we spent 42 hours there with it was like 4 people and 1 dog. And we were all pissing in one corner
Of the
because
shelter.
you couldn't go out.
Yeah.
We went out only to take the ice, to melt it, and we can drink and get water.
Yep.
So yeah, this was crazy.
You're almost lucky that shelter was open. So when I was hiking through there, it was like the first week of May, I think. And I was the first person on the AT to hike through there, and no one had hiked that side of the mountain. At least the hut caretakers were not clear on snow conditions.
Yeah.
And so they were saying the last report was the iron door to the dungeon, which is that basement level shelter that you stayed in, was frozen closed under 2 feet of ice. Yeah. So it's really fortunate that it was open for you guys. But yeah, that's a wild story. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, and then you were also saying that the trail angel, like trail magic on the AT in the community.
Yeah, it's definitely different, because I have a feeling like here trail angels try to make money on the hikers.
Yep.
But on the AT, they really try to help you.
Yep.
So they're making pancakes, hot dogs,
Yep.
burgers right next on the trail. So many coolers with Gatorades. I mean, a lot of people also like give me money and say like spend it. So yeah, it's way different, I would say.
Yeah, I think for me going through in winter, I had less of that, but I definitely still had trail angels who helped me, like Natalie in Pennsylvania, and yeah, just people all up and down the trail. And I think I almost, not like got used to it, I just didn't appreciate it. It felt crazy at first that people, like not crazy, but just so unexpected how much there was. But now being on the PCT, I totally appreciate the community, and especially the trail angels of the PCT so much more, because just like you've said, it's been my experience too, people who are charging you money up front and then calling themselves a trail angel, I still appreciate them, but it's like, you're not, like, it's not fair to trail angels to call yourself one.
This name.
Yeah, they've really earned it, and so
You have to earn it.
exactly. Yeah, like on the PCT, I stayed with one guy, I think it's called Kenny's Place, back in Big Bear, where he charges money, but he's not trying to rip you off,
Yeah.
And I feel like even though he's charging money, he still felt like a trail angel to me. And then I think it's Sandy and Amy and Ridgecrest who hooked me up with a ride into Ridgecrest were true trail angels.
Yeah.
I think they're the first 2 and only 2 like actual trail angels that I've met so far, and I'm already we're like 900 miles in or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a problem to give some money for a ride, for a gas, for a food, or anything, but not $20 for a 10 minutes drive,
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot. Then there's no real hostel culture out here either that I'm finding.
No, I mean,
The hostels are very basic.
like a hiker.
Yeah.
hostels.
Yeah, like I would say your average hostel on the AT is better than the best hostel I've encountered on the PCT.
Yeah, definitely. Like 4 Pines hostel in Andover, Virginia, I think so.
Yeah,
Have it just like a few bunk beds, like 6 sofas,
yeah,
and this is one of the best hostels, definitely.
yeah,
Because it's just so easy. It's not a lot, but it's enough, you know.
yep.
So way better than here. Here is hostel like 45, 50 bucks. But there
Yeah,
it was.
more expensive than anything on the AT, and it's way
Yeah,
less.
80 was
Yeah.
more donation based.
Yep.
You could just throw in how did you feel like it's right. So
Yep.
yeah,
That's
I kind of
yeah.
miss this honestly.
It's funny, yeah. Like there literally are aspects of the AT that I miss, and I could see how it could really be a different experience starting it. Maybe for me in April, where I'm meeting people along the way, rather than like not really meeting more than like 10 people. Sweet. Well, thanks for the quick little interview there.
Hey, don't worry.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah. So I'm still hiking with Snowball here, and we're about to go up our next tall summit. And was a forecast of thunder that was 40% chance for this weekend, and now the thunder has started, and he's smelling and I'm feeling, we're sensing rain coming kind of any second now. So I don't know, this will be interesting to see what it's like going up a pass in a thunder and lightning storm, if that does materialize.
Here's Sandy. Have some peanut butter. Did you see that? Everybody's sweaty with a water bottle.
Yeah.
Like just to capture how hot it was that day.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. It's been a fun day of hiking and socializing today, which is a very new experience for me. Met a good number of people today, many of whom were from different countries, and all of whom were very fun to talk to. So just kind of a fun, little more relaxed day today, but still got a few more miles to hike out, hopefully quickly, to reach my target for the day. But this is the view of the backside, coming down the backside of Silver Pass now. And then Mammoth Lakes, which is my next resupply. I should be arriving in sometime, maybe tomorrow morning. So that's the update from the evening and from the top of Silver Pass. So I'm currently working my way down Silver Pass, pretty much as fast as I can go, as daylight is rapidly diminishing. And I realized this morning that I left my headlamp back up in Muir Pass in that stone shelter. I actually realized it last night. And now I gotta move quickly during the daylight that I have to make miles. So my plan is to bang out as many miles tonight as I can. And then tomorrow morning, wake up at first light. And if I can make enough progress tonight before sunset, I might be within striking distance of Red's Meadow. So my next resupply is in Mammoth Lake, which is like, I don't know, 12 or 15 miles off trail. And there are two ways there. One way involves a 3-mile hike to a trolley that drops you off half a mile out of town. And the other way is to go to Red's Meadow, which is like 5 miles past that first turnoff, where they have a cafe and a shuttle service that runs to a hotel. And so I'm thinking if I could arrive at Red's Meadow tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., I could have breakfast in that cafe. And then 1 hour later, when that shuttle service starts up, I could catch the first shuttle into Mammoth Lakes. That would be awesome. That would be ideal. So that's the idea as of tonight. But as we know from the trail, between the idea and the reality falls the shadow. But that's what keeps everything so exciting out here.